Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My favorite part is right before we get on because then I can see my guests doing like, woo, they're moving to the music. I'm like, there you go, there you go. We're going to say hello first before we start anything. So let's get to it. If you are new to us, please let us know that you're new and where you found us. And I can't wait to do the whole explanation of Ava and how we met, blah, 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 and all the other good stuff. But let's say hi first. Riva, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Michelle, my belle, hello. Thank you for being here. Amanda, thank you for being here. Lisa Randall, good to have you here. Thanks for being here. Sister Sledge, hi, Diane. Good to see you. Good to see you. Um, Duke Jacob, how are you? Good to see you. I'm going to put this in Eva, because I'm hearing myself a little bit in the background. And can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, and I can hear you. Okay. That's the most important thing if I can hear you. Rachel Elizabeth, thank you for being here. Rachel, Ava is someone that you need to talk to because I could just see you teaching children making jewelry. Be really cool. Jamie, there she is. So good to see you. Jamie just finished the program with Ava. I'm so excited. We'll talk about that in a minute. Janelle, hello. And Janelle's daughter, Caitlin, would be amazing for the program. So just I've got a lot of people here. Chris, hello, hello, hello. Jackie, so good to see you. And Jamie, hello, hello, hello. And Jill, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm looking for on to make sure that we're on. Yes, we are. And are yes. Hang on. Someone's saying, "Are you live?" Um, and I'm saying, "Yes, we are." Okay. And hello, Vicky. There you are. Good to see you. And Kelly. And Caitlin is fabulous. Yes, she is. She is just a fabulous love bug, is what I'm going to call her. A fabulous love bug. Well, without further ado, as people come in, we'll say hello a little bit later. But I'm excited to tell you about our lovely guest, Eva Goulette. She's an international best-selling author. She's the founder of Dancing Jaguar Spirit Camp. And what the camp is a summer program filled with self-help tools for children that help them connect to their inner world. Now, recently, Ava has expanded her programs, is now teaching other adults, you guys, how to provide children with these valuable tools in the Spirit Camp teacher training program. And that is what our wonderful Jamie has done. So excited, so excited. And there is Delora, or do we just call you Delora A? Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Beth. Good to see you. And adults or just big kids? Well, for you, it's both. Okay, whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you want. So we met. Abe and I met 2 summers ago,
Mhm.
and I just moved here. And she traveled all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast to do the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo. And let me tell you, her booth was like, I don't know, they were running around the block for your booth, and you had it so set up, and you were all by yourself. And I just turned around and I said, "Hey, I'm in the booth behind you. Would do you need to go to the bathroom or grab some food or something? We'll be glad to help you." And she just thought it was so sweet, and I just loved your energy. And here we are. Here we
We've
are
been
today.
buds ever since. And I just got to tell you, this is like my all time favorite podcast to appear on. I love your community. The
Oh,
energy
thank you.
is so infectious. I love being here.
Oh, well, it's I got good peeps, and I'm so blessed to have these wonderful people. Ronnie, so good. There's Joy. I heard wonderful things about you. Yes, and it is true. And Jamie says she has all the kids covered. Yep. Hello from Ireland. Hello, Facebook user. Good to see you, Ellen Jane. Like cotton candy in an ant farm. Yes, like cotton candy in an ant farm. So, what we're talking about today is connection. That's our theme for the month is connection. And how do we really connect to our children? How do we understand when they have these imagination things, and do we actually, really, I don't want to say some people talk them out of it, but I want to say, how do we just give them the nurturing that they need to nurture these talents that come through and have them walk this world in a different way?
That's a big question.
It is, isn't
It
it?
is a big question, yes. Well, I think the very first step in that is that parents just really need to listen to their children. And one of the things that I always suggest to parents is that when they hear their child talk about an imaginary friend is not to just automatically assume that this is an imaginary friend. I mean, I have this wonderful book that I share with children where a child's imaginary friend she discovers is actually her spirit helper who
Hmm.
has come to earth with her to remind her that she is a spirit in a human body. So I have these wonderful, very childlike, very easy ways for that I have been using to help children understand their gifts without getting too heady about it. So that book is a perfect example of sharing information with children about their imaginary friends where they are believing that or that they are understanding the concept of imaginary friend in a way that really serves them.
Hmm.
They're not being like looked down upon because they're just making something up. I mean, this is a really beautiful example of how we can support children in some of the experiences that they have that we may not understand, but are so incredibly real to them.
And that's fascinating because when you look at everybody that's on here, how many of you, hi Audrey, thanks for being here. And thanks, Vicky. Hey Chris. Um, Hi Tori, good to see you. What would what would it be like, everybody that's listening? What would it be like if we had these tools when we were kids? If they were, in a sense, nurtured and massaged in a way that we could understand that, oh, this is the energy system. Oh, this is how I protect my energy. Oh, this is how I will have dialogue with this person, and I'm not empathically absorbing their energy, where I'm observing and not absorbing.
That
And Jamie says, I've already used several new tools from Spirit Camp. This is great for all. Yep.
it is.
Love it. I love it.
And I just want to say that last week, or 2 weeks ago, I had a teacher training program, the one that Jamie was involved in. And, the inner child healing that comes from being a part of this program is really profound. And I just want to explain what I was sharing in that program is that I first teach my students, the prospective new Spirit Camp teachers, as if they were coming to Spirit Camp. I invite all of their inner children to come forward and experience Spirit Camp. And
Mm,
then we have a round where I talk about it like from the teaching perspective. Why is it presented this way, and how do we support the children as they're learning it? And then the third round is what came up for you and what space do you need? How can we hold space for you while you healed whatever came up for your inner child? So it's really profound. It's a teacher training program to learn how to teach kids, but the depth of the healing for everyone's inner child is really profound as you go through it. And that's something that is really special for all of the students that I have seen go through this program.
mm. I love that. Martin Brooke, all the way from the land of green. So good to see you, my friend. Long time no see from Ireland. Thank you for being here. Miss you. I keep you in my prayers all the time. Susan said that would have been fantastic if we had this. Joy says, I thank God for people like you every day. It takes a special kind of person. Yes. Jackie says that her 4-year-old grandson um, talks to a man in his room and is often laughing. He tells us it's his grandpa. So, and yeah, fascinating. And Tori says, I can get out of here. Tori says there's a book you recommended that I read that told the story of her mother fostering her intuitive abilities. So theory has been proved.
Mm.
I love it. I love it. What what kind of, so if you could talk a little bit about, you have a camp starting in Milwaukee, is that correct?
Yes, next Monday I will be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and we have one spot left for a child to join us in that camp. And that will wind down the spirit camp season for this summer.
Hmm.
And I'm really excited to go to Milwaukee because the people there are just itching to get this started in their community. And one of the students that was in the teacher training program with Jamie a couple of weeks ago actually lives in Milwaukee. So she will be able to carry the torch forward after I teach the spirit camp there and leave. That will be her market from now on. And that's my vision for spreading this around the world, is to start training people that can kind of backfill in the markets that I'm going to plant new seeds of intuition and just authenticity for children to grow up just really being who they are and loving that. So anyway, I'm excited to go to Milwaukee.
Uh, Lisa says, I love this camp. I
Oh, thank you,
know,
Lisa.
I know. So tell everybody a little bit about what, like, the kind of connections that the adults make and the connections that the children make.
Okay, well, let me just clarify for everyone here that there's a spirit camp for kids, the one I'm going to teach next week in Milwaukee, and then there's a teacher training program to learn how to teach the kids. But then there's also a spirit camp for adults and a teacher
Mm.
training program to learn how to teach spirit camp to adults. So when I'm answering the questions, I'm trying to figure out like which program are you wanting me to
We'll start
talk
we'll
about?
start with all of them. Just
Okay.
start with one and go down the road.
Okay. So with the kids, one of the main missions in Spirit Camp is to help children disconnect from technology and connect to themselves, their families, their communities, and the natural world. We take kids out into the natural world every single day. And by the end of the week, after all of the work they have done learning how to work with their own energy and how to sense the energy of partners that they're in class with, we take them outside and we have them connect to the energy of a tree and meditate with a tree and bring back a message from the tree to our group. So by the end of Spirit Camp, I really feel like children have embodied the wisdom that we are all one, we are all connected because they have experienced it. They've been connecting with each other energetically, they've connected to their own intuition and their higher wisdom. They've spent the week connecting to their spirit helpers. They've created their own sacred tools. They've learned how to connect energetically and spiritually to their sacred tools. And then they've learned how to connect to everything that's in the natural world. So I feel like the depth of awareness for children is so profound, like they might not get it for years to come. And even if they consciously forget some of the teachings that they have learned at Spirit Camp, as they grow up, that knowledge is there inside them. And it will bubble to the surface when the time is right for them. But I believe that these children are the ones who will change the world because they're growing up with so much self awareness about themselves and the world around them, and with such a reverence for the natural world. I mean, when you go out and spend an afternoon talking to trees and receiving messages from them, you end up feeling really reverent toward everything that is alive. And to hear children say, everything here has a spirit, even you. Like to have children talk to you like that when they're standing out in the woods, like it's such a rush. It really is.
I'm sure it is. I'm
Yeah.
sure it is.
So we take that same kind of connections teaching for children, and we've kind of packaged it in this beautiful um, manual that is like really, really big. It's a hefty
Wow.
manual. This is the children's program. It's big. And then what I did is I adapted that whole thing into an adult program because adults kept saying, "This is the camp I needed when I was a child. I need
Mhm.
this too." And the parents were saying that. I'm so glad my child is learning this now, but I never learned it and I need it too. So there's Spirit Camp for Adults that has the same lessons and teachings. It's just taught in a different way. And then there's the teacher training program for Spirit Camp for Adults too. So we're kind of covering all bases there. And then we will be launching Spirit Camp for Teens as well with a training program for that. So
I love that. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. Um, we had a question here from Jackie. She said, "How do you help a child who's afraid of it,
afraid of it.
of
I'm not sure which.
imaginary, talking to grandpa?"
Mm. Um, she's afraid of talk. Well, I would first of all, I wouldn't force her to talk to grandpa. I listen to where the child is at and I help the child feel safe where they're at. And if the child doesn't feel safe talking to grandpa, I certainly wouldn't be having the child do that. What I might do is have the child learn some protection that the child can do if that's going to help her feel safer. Like we really create a safe container for children to do work in at Spirit Camp. And if that particular child just needs to, oh, it's her teen. Okay. If that particular child just needs to learn how to protect themselves energetically, that's what I would focus on first until they feel safe in their ability to protect themselves. And then as they feel safer, they may feel more open to having a conversation or speaking to.
I love that. I love that. Rachel says, "Yes, I love, love, love this. I know it's be great for you because I have to tell you, Ava's out your way, Rachel.
Where's Rachel
She's
live?
Rachel's in Connecticut.
I'm in Maine.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Jamie said, such an amazing manual, links for everything you need. She put in so much time with photo examples and all. I love it. I love it. Jackie says, thank you. Thank you. Andrew says, me too. I know. And this is what we need for kids. And, teenagers too. I was down a way back. I wanted to teach teenagers. I wanted to have teenagers learn this stuff. And at one point, I wanted to do something with teenagers and their parent. And, it was in the back burner, but I was like, that's an idea. That's an idea. Jamie met me for lunch on the way. She did. How wonderful. How wonderful. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what would you think, like, what's a good example to teach people about connection? Like, how would you, and I know you do this because, we've talked before, but with chakras, I think that's always fascinating when you do the chakra game with them.
Oh, the chakra game. Let me see if I have it here. Oh darn, it's not right behind me. I usually have it right
Okay.
behind me. I created a game called Chakra Shenanigans. And for kids, it's just a big poster of a person who's sitting like in a meditation with 7 dots on their body. And the dots are removable. It's Pin the Tail on the Donkey, but it's Chakra Shenanigans for kids. And there's a whole song that goes with it. I'm not a singer, but I'll just give you a little bit of the tune.
Yeah,
It's
please.
7 chakras, wheels of life, wheels of light, spiraling and turning, spinning and whirling inside me, inside me. And then there's a verse for every chakra.
I
So
like
as
that.
the child is given the dot, we put a blindfold on them, we give them the dot, say it's solar plexus. That we ask the child if they know where the yellow dot goes, what's the name of the chakra, because they're just learning all about the chakras as they're playing games and singing songs. So the child gets spun around and we're singing the verse for solar plexus, and then the child is putting the dot up on the board. And of course, the board's a mess by the time the kids have got all the
Sure.
chakras up there. So their mission as a team is to go and put the dot that they placed on the poster in the correct position so we can align the chakras of our friend who's on the board before we finish the game. And of course, that's a huge deal to them. But that game is so popular, we play it over and over and over again at spirit camps. And and there's so much playfulness in how all of the curriculum is shared with the children, but they go home and they use this stuff. Like one of our really fun exercises we teach children for protection is to pretend they have a long winter coat on and to zip up their chakras. And we do this great exercise where we muscle test them to kind of get a baseline. And then we are talking like directly to one of the children, and we pretend that it's Purple Day at Spirit Camp and this child wore all of the wrong clothes. So we just say things like, oh my gosh, it's Purple Day at Spirit Camp and you're wearing all the wrong colors. You've really ruined it for everyone. We were really depending on you. Our whole team has really got this messed up thing now. And then we muscle test the child, and their arm falls down really easily. And then we have them zip up their chakras, and we do the exact same, what we call the Purple Day script. And they test really solidly. Kids get such a kick out of that because it's so empowering for them to know that they can protect themselves from taking in negativity when they're out on the playground and stuff.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff that we teach kids is presented in a really playful way. And that exercise, by the way, is taught exactly in spirit camp for adults because
I
it's a
love that.
fun exercise and it's great no matter what age you are. But like there's this little 5-year-old in Massachusetts who was getting picked on at school one day, and she started crying and the kids teased her. And when she went home and told her mom about her day at school and she shared that kids poked fun of her for crying, her mom asked her how she handled it. And she just said, Mom, I know how to shield myself. I zipped up my chakras. Like so matter of fact. So
I love that. I
it's
love
such
that.
cool work to see kids like take this in, feel empowered by it, and then actually integrate it into their lives and use it when they're out in the world. It's cool stuff.
So cool. Now, Delora would like you to sing the chakra song in French. Um, you should really have her on your team. She's a hoot. Summer says, "I'm glad I'm learning this. This will be great for my son." Totally. I mean, honestly, guys, I would have your kids, your grandkids, go to Spirit Camp. I think they would learn so much, and they are empowered. I think
Mhm.
that is really the important piece. They are empowered. Jamie said, "Yep, use that this week too." Awesome, awesome. I totally want to go to camp now. Yes, yes, yes. Lisa Randall said, "That's awesome. I love that." Vicky says, "Amazing. This will help me with my grandboys." Yes, it will. And
Yeah.
could you imagine? So, what do you do if you have children that are on the spectrum?
I do have children on the spectrum. And so when children are registered for Spirit Camp, we asked parents to share a little bit about them. And then we do say that if your child has had a one-on-one in the classroom throughout, their school year, we ask you to provide a one-on-one for them at Spirit Camp so we can really set them up for success because our staff doesn't really have the numbers to provide one-on-ones. However, we have had kids have amazing experiences at Spirit Camp. Kids who have been on the spectrum, auditory processing disorder, Asperger's, high functioning kids on the spectrum. So it, um, one of my Spirit Camp teachers has a daughter who is nonverbal autistic, and she loves doing this work with her daughter. She said she can just see her face and her eyes lighting up like she knows this stuff. And she's so happy her mom is connecting that, with her. So my goal is to have people be able to take this into classrooms
Mm,
with kids on the spectrum because I think they would just thrive. This is
I
such cool
love it.
work.
I love it. I really do. So, guys, do you have questions for Ava about connecting, and maybe this is something that, when is your next spirit teacher training?
I have a virtual teacher training starting on September 9th. It will meet September 9th and 10th, and then one weekend in October, one weekend in November. It's all on Zoom.
Nice.
And then I have an in-person one in Maine that's going to be meeting one weekend a month in January, February, and March. So there are two of Spirit Camp for Kids teacher training opportunities, one on Zoom this fall, one in person this winter. I have a Spirit Camp for Adults teacher training program starting in October, one weekend a month, October, November, and December.
I think that's phenomenal.
Yes.
Janelle says, I will talk with Caitlin about this. Please do. Please do. And again, guys, if you want to find any information about it, Delora put the website on here, dancingjaguarinspirations.com. It's dancingjaguarinspirations.com. And if you are from across the pond, it would be dancingjaguarinspirations.com. So I think that's just great. Questions that you guys have for Ava? Anything that you guys want to know about Janelle Sunshine? It was better than I ever even anticipated. I love that. I love that. Lisa said, I'm very interested. All my grandboys are on the spectrum. It'd be really good. It'd be really, really good. And Delora, we weren't ready for that yet, but we'll say it now since you put it on there.
What's
Do you want to go
Delora
ahead
up
and
to?
explain?
Oh, okay.
She's doing this.
Thank you, Delora. I will. I have this adorable little connections activity book. When Elias told me the topic for this month and for this podcast, this is an activity book that I created for kids last year. I was doing a different activity book for each sign of the zodiac, and each sign of the zodiac had its own theme, and connections was the theme for Gemini. So I have this as a free gift for everyone. If you would like to go to that link that Delora put up there, you can just download this activity book and have fun with it. Give it to any of the kids in your life.
Yes. And Rachel has a very good question. Why Dancing Jaguar?
Ooh, Rachel, that's a fun story for me to share. When I was receiving downloads of this curriculum to share with children after I had a brain injury. And once I realized that I needed to start a company, I couldn't figure out what kind of a name to give it. And then I realized I wanted to create a name that meant something to me, like had importance to me. So I was a ballet dancer my entire childhood and grew up to become the director of a ballet studio in upstate New York. Dancing has always been a part of my life. Jaguar, my power animal. I don't think you can see it. I've got black jaguars behind me here on this shelf.
Oh, cool.
And inspirations, because I want to be an inspiration to all the children of the world that I get to work with. So dancing, jaguar, and inspirations.
I think that's great. And another one that would be really great is Stephanie. She would be really great, as she has that spirit of a child in wonder. And I think it's really, really cool to, Stephanie, you should check it out. And this is a great free gift. So thank you for that. And because you mentioned it, hang on, I think I have one. Whoops.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yes, I love the eyes.
Yes, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, this is a black onyx, I believe, but
gorgeous.
But very cool. And let's see. That is beautiful. I know. I may have to come to see you next summer in Maine. Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
So can I share with your audience what my vision is next summer? This is what I would like to have created. And I would love to have your community hold this vision for me.
Okay.
I want to go to 4 markets in the US, 1 week to do a teacher training program, train all the teachers in that area, and then the second week do a spirit camp so that those teachers can get to do a spirit camp with me. And then I leave that geographic area and those teachers continue planting the seeds organically in that area. So I would like to have 8 weeks next summer where I'm going into 4 different markets around the US, 2 weeks in each, so we can really plant the seeds of spirit camp in those geographic regions. So if I could have you guys hold space for that vision for me, I would love it because your community is the best.
Oh, thanks. Where do you see that? Like, where do you see these 4 places?
I think the Pacific Northwest is a perfect fit. I think Southern California or Mid-Coast California could be. I would also like to go down along the eastern seaboard a little bit deeper than I've been in Virginia, but I haven't covered any of the more southern states along the eastern seaboard.
Mhm.
I would love to come into like the breadbasket of the US, but depends on the community, I think, and the openness. I think Denver would be really open to this.
Denver would be really open. What about um
Chicago?
yeah, I'm thinking Chicago just because
Yeah.
oh, look, my Chicago accent just came out. Chicago.
I heard
You
it.
heard it, right? It doesn't always come out, but it's Chicago because usually I'm really good about Chicago. But Chicago, um, Chicago would be really great. Um, Latoya said, Alabama, please.
Alabama.
Southern California is my vote. Okay. And Lisa's holding space.
Thank you, Lisa.
Amanda said yes to Chicago. Yes to Chicago. I'm saying yes to Chicago too. And it's next to Milwaukee. Yes,
Oh, that's
Milwaukee.
cute.
Yes. And I knew she was going to say Oklahoma.
Ooh. So if
But think
anybody
about it.
wants to reach out and connect, what really helped me with Milwaukee is I had a grandmother who had been purchasing all of these little activity books for her granddaughter. She lives in Milwaukee. And she just contacted me and said, I want to have you come to Milwaukee. I've got I own condos. You can stay in my condo while you're here. I've got a space for you. I mean, I'm renting the space, but she knew the space for me. So to having somebody in a community that knows the community that just reaches out and says, hey, I've got this place. Let's figure out how we can make it
Let's do it.
happen. And
Yeah.
I just had somebody who really, really wanted to make it happen. And I'm heading out there in a couple days. So that's all it takes.
I have a connection for you. My friend Carla Tantillo Filibert. She does a lot of stuff. Let me just tell you, she does a lot of stuff. And one of the things that she does, because I want to get it right, is she's an author. She does self-care for educators. So she's the author of Cooling Down Your Classroom and Everyday SEL series. So she has taught yoga to kids in the rural and urban schools and all the different kinds of social emotional learning type stuff that she does. And she has done several of my retreats. So she gets the woo woo. And she would be somebody that, what I'll do is I will make an introduction via email.
Thank you. That sounds wonderful.
I think that would be really good. Vicky says, I'm worried Oklahomans are too narrow-minded in this Bible Belt. I'm not, and think this is wonderful. It's going to happen where it's going to happen. And if you guys hold the vision, Susan says Northeast. If you hold the vision, it'd be great. Amanda wants to go to adult camp.
There is a virtual adult camp starting in January, and there's an in-person adult camp for people who are local in Maine. That's starting in January as well. And they meet one Saturday a month from January through May. So on Saturday, I'm doing a virtual spirit camp for adults. And on Sunday, I'm doing an in-person one right in my community.
So when they meet, when let's say that I wanted to go and I have to fly to Maine. So I'd have to fly to Maine in January, February, and in March, correct?
If you're for a spirit camp for adults or for the adult teacher training.
Sorry, the adult teacher training.
The adult teacher training is, yes, it is over 3 weekends, three
Yes.
months. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But I
that
mean, it
would
also exists over Zoom though. So
yeah.
you could do the Zoom one too. Yep.
And look at this. Ronnie says, my daughter has a storefront space in Milwaukee dedicated to the woo woo. If you're interested, feel free to reach out and I can get you connected.
Oh, Ronnie, please connect us. That would be really
Yeah.
fun.
So Ronnie, I will connect the two of you via email.
Thank you.
Okay. I will
That would
connect
be
the two of you.
wonderful.
Let me write it down because I don't want to forget. Uh, Ronnie.
So here our topic tonight is connections, and look
Yes.
at the connections that we're making just in this little
Yes.
network. You have the most fascinating community, and your members are so active and engaged, and it's always so exciting to be here. I love this group.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You know, I am blessed. I am blessed to have good people, and I am blessed to have them always come on the lives when they do. We are going to, just so everybody knows, starting in September, we are going to be doing the lives again Saturday nights, and that's going to start September 16th. So, what I like to do is the summer's busy, people are out on Saturday night. So, once we get into fall and winter, and a little bit into spring, we start going to Saturday nights because I think um, it's really good to get people together on a Saturday night and just kind of hunker down, and we can all have our hot chocolate and our marshmallows together and whatever else kind of goodies. And maybe some people want to hunker down. Wait for it. Wait for it. People want to hunker down and have some top popcorn, gourmet popcorn. You know, they might want to have that because there's 5 flavors now. So it's really good. I'm sitting here doing this. I'm
Oh,
sitting
that's so sweet.
doing this.
Take
So
my small one and put it right here.
I
There.
think it's really really a great vision to see how you can Dancing Jaguar Spirit Camp can just leap, leap, and move forward. Because when we do in the shamanic world, we say, my teachers have said, always run with the Jaguars.
Mhm.
So, because they are the ones that are guiding and leading, especially if you're driving, they're gonna, just get you to where you need to be and quickly and safely, which is really important. Um, Thank you so much. What a wonderful camp. I know. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm just outside of Tulsa. Howdy, neighbor. Howdy, neighbor. Um, so what would you say, what would you give people on here a way of allowing advice for those that have children or grandchildren to be able to connect to their um, intuition, to their natural intuition?
Well, one of the things that I think is really important for parents to share with their children is that our body, our higher wisdom is communicating to us all the time. We just have to learn how to understand the language that it's communicating um, with. And
Mhm.
one of the first things that I share with children is when we talk about what it feels like when people come into our space and we don't really resonate with their energy and we get that knot in our solar plexus. And I explain to children that that's a message from our higher wisdom that's just saying, "Hey, pay attention here. Something's not right." And you want to just kind of suss it out, look around you, and if you're not feeling comfortable, you can either move away from the situation or go stand next to an adult. If you're
Right.
with your parents, you can share with them that you're not feeling comfortable about something. So we start talking to kids about different ways that they receive information that will help them understand the world around them more and help them understand themselves more. And as they start developing confidence in their ability to trust their connection to their inner wisdom, that is so empowering for them, because they learn how to make decisions that are in their highest good. For instance, we teach children how to muscle test by themselves, just standing with their feet flat on the floor and asking their body to show them what a yes will look like, and, have their body moving forward and back for yeses and nos. And, we teach them that when they're really struggling with something, to just close their eyes, ground themselves, really connect to the earth's energy, and ask their higher wisdom a yes no question regarding whatever is stumping them.
Mhm.
So, if we can start sharing information like that with children at a really young age, they're not going to be so impacted by peer pressure as they're getting older and going into high school and stuff, because they're going to know how to tap into their inner wisdom and understand what's a yes and no for them, and not have to ask other people for their opinions on what they should do, because they're already going to know. The answers are always within. And when they can learn that at 5 and 6 years old and develop the muscle of trusting that as they grow up, this is powerful stuff for them.
I think that is well said. I think that we forget about other ways to empower our children and grandchildren, nieces, great nieces, whatever it is, guys. Kids are the ones that are going to be in charge. When we're older, these children are the ones that are growing up. And wouldn't it be wonderful to give them the set of tools to go within now? To go within now.
I have this powerful story of this 10-year-old boy and his 7-year-old sister who came to spirit camp together, and they were arguing over something. And it was after we did chakra day, where they were really learning how to tune into their energies and their chakras and how to move them and stuff. But anyway, they were arguing, and the little girl was crying, and she came up to me and told me her brother was being mean to her. So I pulled him over and I asked him his version of the story, and then I just said, "Okay, we can both see your sister's really upset. Is there anything you can think of you could do right now, to help the situation?" And I thought he was just going to say, "I'm sorry." But he looked at her square in the eye and said, "I never would have said those things to you if my heart chakra was open. Why don't you take your pendulum and your gemstones and let's go to the couch, and then you can check my heart chakra and open my heart chakra, because I would never be mean to you if my heart was open. So can we do that?" That was their, I mean, of course, she was totally happy. She picked up her pendulum and her chakra stones, and they went over to the couch and solved. But he had the wisdom at 10 years old to start already looking within for his part of what just happened and how he
Right.
could make it better. So, I mean, to me, that is just an incredible story of how children change their perspective when they start learning how to show up as a spirit in a human body and how to take
Right. And
responsibility for themselves.
right, to take ownership, exactly,
Yes.
instead of what they see other adults do,
Mhm.
and what they see from learning from example of avoidance and isolation and all these other things, that what we do now on retreats, what we have to backpedal in to get into, to be like, oh, yeah, 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 okay, now, no, 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 now I see it, where we cut energy cords and all this other kind of stuff. So just fascinating, just absolutely fascinating. What a better world they would create. I know
Absolutely.
they will create. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Um, so I'm going to put this on here again. Delora, do you mind putting the free gift on there again, so people can see? So please, guys, do put that on there, and we can I can scroll up. Oh no, she got it. Well, here's the Facebook group. Yes,
Oh, thank
Dancing
you,
Jaguar
Delora.
Spirit Camp. Thanks to Laura. And then we want the little gift there, and there it is. The free gift is Connections Activity for Kids. spiritcamp.ck.page/connections. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Um, so if you want to tell everybody the dates of what's coming, you've got one spot left for Milwaukee. Milwaukee, everybody. Ronnie,
Yes.
you got any kids? that have kids, or because the ages of spirit camp is what?
6 to 12.
6 to 12. So anybody that wants to go 6 to 12 to Milwaukee for spirit camp, the date starts Monday, Tuesday,
Monday. Monday.
Monday,
Yep.
and it's for how long?
Monday through Friday next week.
Monday through Friday, guys. Monday through Friday. You got one spot left in Milwaukee. And now, what happens if Delora wants to go and she just puts a hat on, and she could pass for a 12-year-old if they just put a
Oh,
hat
that's
on?
really sweet. Well,
Yeah,
you know what? She can talk to me because I might need another volunteer, adult volunteer for manning the glue gun stations.
adult volunteer. Oh,
Yeah,
look at that, Delora. You can go volunteering. Look at that. Or Stephanie could go because she's childlike. She likes it.
perfect.
She could bring her horses.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she could bring her horses. Um, you are always welcomed on whenever you wish. I just love your energy, and I love being able to share this with the community and let them know that there are answers out there. We just have to look for them. And you have grabbed that one piece of I wish our kids knew. Ronnie says yes, 4 grandkids. Only the 7-year-old would be old enough. Okay. Okay, well, just something to think about. Um,
Absolutely.
so let me tell everyone what's going on, what's happening next week. Speaking of what we're talking about, we are going to talk about with Moira Scullion about connecting to your shadow self. What is that like to connect to the shadow self? And then that's same time, same channel next week with Moira. And then we'll end the month with Ginger connecting to your heart. So next week is connecting to your shadow side of self. This Saturday, we're doing manifestation with intention. Remember, today is the new moon, but on Saturday, we're going to be working with Lisa Noland and I teaching manifesting with intention. This has been so much fun. I want you to hold the phone though for a moment. And guys, really take a look. Take a look and see what Ava's doing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you do. And we'll put let me just get to it. We'll put the website up again. Dun, 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 dun. That's not it. It's right here. And I'm gonna, or Delora, you could put it up on there again, but I got it. DancingJaguarInspirations.com. Once again, DancingJaguarInspirations.com. And it has been, oh, and she just did it down here too. So thank you. So really come and join us, guys. Also, tomorrow night, I'm going to be giving a giveaway tomorrow night. So we'll do some cards, we'll do some chit chat. Tomorrow night, it's mid-month late night chit chat at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. Some of you will be in bed, some of you won't. So come and join me for a little fun, little chit chat. Who knows? You might get something in a prize form that would be very exciting. And yes, thank you. And I am doing a reading special until the end of the month. If you want a $15 discount of my $30 30-minute session, you would put in 15T. And if you wanted an hour reading, that's a $30 discount, TIK 30, and that's under into it's under intuitive sessions. And don't leave because I got to show you this. Starting September 22nd, I'm so freaking excited. Delora did such a great job on this, and thank you again, Delora. I'm doing the podcast, Your Inner Voice. And for that, you need to go to Mind Body Spirit FM. That's mindbodyspirit.fm for the podcast, Your Inner Voice. It starts September 22nd. We've got, let me just tell you, if you only saw the list of guests that I've got. So I'm super excited and super honored to have everybody on here say yes. Everybody say yes. This will be the podcast is going to be on Spotify. It will be on Spotify, Apple, and Google. And it's going to start September 22nd. And yes, mindbodyspirit.fm. And there you go, your inner voice. It's mindbodyspirit.fm. That's September 22nd, will be the first podcast. It'll be me for the first two, and then I'll have guests. And hopefully by month 6, we'll start doing phone calls. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for being here, Eva. It's just always a pleasure having you on. All of you watching, thank you so much for joining, for watching, for supporting. Please keep Eva's energy and her intention out there. You are doing amazing work for the children that are coming up in this world. So thank you. Thank you for your
You and
heart.
Elias. And
You hold that thought. Yes.
my last statement for your listeners is the world is ready and the children are waiting. And I think they're waiting for every single one of us.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that. And from our hearts to yours, everyone, remember, we are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And when we educate, we grow. There is unity in community. From our hearts, cheers. Thanks, everybody. Be well, and we'll talk soon.